But anyways, being poor didn't stop my parents from spoiling my younger brother Pedro rotten. Pedro was allowed to go to school, and I wasn't. Life was so unfair. I felt so invisible. The only time my parents saw me was when they wanted me to do some chore around the house. Because of how differently my parents treated Pedro and me, we never grew up close, and he always saw me as his slave, even though I was older than he was. When I was 11, I begged my parents to send me to a sewing school. Mom, Dad, I deserve to be able to follow my dreams too.
They don't have the money to send you to some stupid sewing school when they're going to send me to the most prestigious college in the country.
I'm sorry, Camilla, but we have to support the child who has greater potential and will make the family proud.
With that, Mom and Dad just walked away as Pedro stood there with a stupid smirk on his face. When I was 13, things looked as though they were turning around, and I finally landed a babysitting job. When my parents found out that I'd been neglecting household chores because of it, they were furious. I was grounded for 2 months, and Dad tore off all my designs that I had stuck on my bedroom walls over the years. I was devastated, but a tiny part of me refused to give up. For the next 2 months, I worked endlessly to create the most beautiful ball gown known to man. I needed to get into this school. I had something to prove to myself. I ran home, but when I opened the door, the confrontation didn't know a verse on me. Dad glared at me as he was holding a necklace in his hand.
Camilla, why was this in your dresser?
As if on cue, Pedro walked into the room to examine the necklace.
Wait, isn't that Sophia's mother's?
You should know, since you stole it.
Pedro told us that he saw you take this.
I didn't steal anything. It was Pedro. I just don't understand where we went wrong with you. Me? Pedro's the one who got kicked out of school. He is my butt.
We also found cash hidden under the floorboards. Where did you steal that from?
I froze. How did they? My eyes met Pedro's, and an evil glint flashed over his eyes. That's my money. I earned it.
Stop lying, Camilla.
I think it's time to teach little Miss Fashionista a lesson that she will never forget. Pedro, bring the dress. Dress? What dress? The words stuck in my throat, and I saw Pedro return with my submission dress. I watched in horror as Mom lit the fireplace and took the dress from Pedro. Mom, please, don't! You will learn your place in this family, Camilla. My mother threw my dress in the fireplace, and it lit up quicker than a barbecue on Independence Day. I tried to get it out, but Dad and Pedro held me back as I kicked and screamed. After a while, my dress was nothing but ashes. As an avalanche of tears ran down my face, I knew that my time in this family was up. I wanted to attack my parents and Pedro,